One of the brightest stars in the hip-hop genre had his hopes and goals shattered by tragedy in the midst of the genre's heyday in the 1990s. Christopher Wallace, popularly known as Biggie Smalls or the Notorious B.I.G, was shot and killed on March 9, 1997. Leaving the world in shock and dismay, the music business was rocked by the news of his tragic death, and his absence will never be fully replaced. The mystery of who murdered Biggie remains unanswered, even after so much time has passed. Get ready as we begin on a mission to solve one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in the history of music and reveal the enigmatic offender. In this video, we reveal the terrifying truth, so be ready to be shocked. The murder of Biggie Smalls is widely believed to have been an act of vengeance by the members of the East Coast rap scene for the assassination of Tupac Shakur, his equivalent on the West Coast, as well as a friend turned rival in the rap game. This view is supported by a number of lines of evidence. Others wonder about the purported participation of corrupt law enforcement authorities, which fuels speculations of a cover-up that extends far beyond the realm of the music business. The list of potential culprits continues to grow, now including rival gangs, individuals with personal grudges, and perhaps a complex web of government participation. One thing, however, is abundantly obvious among the whirlwind of rumors. The murder of Biggie Smalls continues to be a raw wound, a disturbing reminder of the precarious nature of life and the shadow that lies beyond the glitz and glitter of celebrity. It is a glaring illustration of the subtle influences that may shatter dreams and permanently mute voices that were once audible in our hearts. This is a striking testimonial to the power of these forces. When analyzing the events that led up to Biggie's death, one cannot ignore the involvement of gangs and the retaliation that ensued from their actions. During the 1990s, the rap business was heavily influenced by street gangs. There is a school of thought that contends that territorial conflicts and gang loyalties played a crucial part in the victim's death. The competition between the East Coast and the West Coast, which was linked with the allegiances of various gangs, made the tensions inside the music business much worse. Biggie's death has been attributed to many criminal organizations, including the Bloods and the Crips, both of which are well known for their participation in and impact on the rap scene. An important component of the inquiry is continuing to look into whether or not Biggie Smalls may have been a victim of gang-related retribution as a result of his relationships, feuds, or perceived disrespect. The assassination of Tupac Shakur on September 7, 1996 sent shockwaves across the entire hip-hop community. Many people were under the impression that continuous animosity between the East Coast and the West Coast was directly responsible for Tupac's death. There was speculation that Biggie Smalls and other people connected to him were complicit in the plan to murder Tupac, and this led to the formation of a number of hypotheses. These hypotheses gained popularity as a result of the extreme hatred that existed between the two musicians and the lyrical punches that were sent back and forth. Intertwining their destinies and adding another degree of complication to the inquiry, a widespread idea emerged suggesting that Biggie's murder was a kind of retaliation for Tupac's death. The idea that members of the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, were involved in the assassination of Biggie Smalls is a conspiracy theory that has persisted for many years. It was suggested that some policemen with the LAPD were affiliated with Death Row Records, which was the record company that Tupac was signed to. These allegations of corruption and collaboration inside the LAPD surfaced. These allegations gave rise to the notion that certain members of the LAPD had colluded to quiet Biggie in order to conceal their own participation in the murder of Tupac. This hypothesis gained hold as a result of the widespread mistrust of law enforcement that exists in areas that have been negatively impacted by police brutality and systematic racism. Marion Suge Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records, has been linked to many conspiracy theories about the death of Biggie Smalls for a long time. Knight was considered a prominent individual who had the ability and desire to plan a retaliation assault on Biggie since he was there during the fatal shooting of Tupac and was perceived as having seen the crime himself. The strong financial and personal disagreements that existed between Biggie and Tupac at the time, in addition to the power dynamics that existed inside the music industry at the time, are often cited as the purported motivation for this idea. Despite the fact that rumors continue to circulate, no hard proof connecting Suge Knight directly to Biggie's death has been found as of yet. The murder of Biggie Smalls has not been solved despite the fact that there have been multiple investigations, lawsuits, and fresh attempts by law enforcement authorities. Throughout the course of time, a number of leads and hypotheses have surfaced, but none of them have unequivocally pinpointed the person or people who were guilty of the crime. In light of recent developments in forensic technology and the appearance of fresh evidence, law enforcement officials have decided to revive the investigation, which has inspired a rekindling of the hope that justice may one day be done. The search for answers goes on, motivated by the want to deliver Biggie's loved ones, including his family, friends, and devoted fans who have lamented his passing for decades, some kind of closure. The investigation into Biggie's murder has been complicated by a number of factors, one of the most serious of which is the intimidation of witnesses and the pervasive atmosphere of dread that surrounds the case. A number of possible witnesses have been unwilling to come forward because they are afraid of being punished or retaliated against in some way. The intimidating atmosphere that was created by individuals who were engaged in the crime, along with the reputation of street gangs and the potentially influential personalities behind the scenes, has made it difficult for investigators to acquire essential evidence and construct a strong case against the perpetrators. In order to successfully solve the mystery of Biggie's murder, it is essential to eliminate witness intimidation and provide a secure setting in which people may speak freely and freely share their information. The untimely death of Biggie Smalls sent shockwaves across the hip-hop world and had an everlasting effect on the music industry as a whole. His death served as a jarring illustration of the hazards and viciousness that were pervasive in the profession at the time of its occurrence. His premature passing had a profound impact not only on artists, but also on fans, and as a result, the hip-hop community as a whole engaged in some self-reflection and voiced their support for reform. Biggie's music continues to reverberate with listeners all around the globe because of his one-of-a-kind style, captivating character, and ability to convey stories via his lyrics. His death became a symbol of the fatal repercussions that may result from feuds and rivalries within the music business. As a result, it prompted a re-evaluation of values and the need for togetherness in order to avoid such tragedies. Biggie Smalls, better known by his stage name, the Notorious B.I.G, is still widely considered to be one of the most accomplished rappers of all time. Despite the tragic circumstances of his passing, his influence on the music business and popular culture is still felt to this day. His unique flow, ability to convey vivid stories, and capacity to fascinate listeners with his lyrical talent have all contributed to solidifying his position in hip-hop history. Biggie's music continues to inspire and influence musicians of all generations, and several of his albums, such as Ready to Die and Life After Death, are now regarded as canonical examples of their respective art forms. Fans have an abiding love and respect for him, and they want to find closure and the truth about how his awful death occurred. The continued search for justice in his murder case is a symbol of this love and regard. As his memory continues to live on, there is always the hope that one day the mystery that surrounds his death will be solved. That's all for today's video, guys. If you like our content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, share, and hit the notification bell to get the latest news from us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.